Hello, today is Friday, 14th November 2025. It promises to be exciting as usual. Let us dive straight to the headlines. Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB appeals to foreign mission for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Obidient Movement Mobilization Director resigns, accuses Peter Obi of neglecting grassroots structure. National Assembly orders suspension of West African Examination Council's WAEC 2026 CBT exams, warns of mass failure, depression among students. Super Eagles beat Gabon national football team 4-1 in 2026 World Cup qualifier playoff to qualify for final. Reverend Joseph John Hayab, Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria, Northern and FCT, says there is genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Yahabelu's trials 110.4 billion naira fraud adjourned till 2026. Federal government of Nigeria stops planned implementation of 15% import duty on petrol and diesel. Now let us go to some of the details. Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB appeals to foreign mission for Nnamdi Kanu's release. IPOB has sent an urgent appeal to 21 foreign missions and international bodies including the US, UK, UN and EU, calling for global intervention in the continued detention of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu. In a letter dated November 12, the group highlighted court rulings and international opinions that have called for his release, alongside concerns about his reported deteriorating health. IPOB is asking world powers to help ensure due legal process and support monitoring of Kanu's welfare while in custody. This is serious. Now they have to go to the international community because they have lost hope in the national courts. And it is not an isolated case. As at present date, Nigerians have filed more than 30 cases in the ECOWAS court against Nigerian state. And the reason why they have not even been filing directly to the ICJ is because an individual is not allowed to file a case directly to the ICJ. So by allowing Nigerians to always run to the international community to seek for help, it shows the collapse of the systems we have in Nigeria. You see, just recently we are still grappling with the issue of genocide that was submitted to the US and the threat from the US and all that. So there are so many cases like that are pending in the international communities because what the citizens have lost hope in the country's judicial system or in the country's system is a very bad precedent, and these injustices have fueled a lot of uprising in Nigeria, some of which we know, some of which we don't know. We just hope the government comes to terms with this reality. Let us go to the next one. Obidient Movement Mobilization Director resigns, accuses Peter Obi of neglecting grassroots structure. Chima Monye, the Director of Mobilization for the Obidient Movement, has resigned, accusing Peter Obi of abandoning the grassroots structure that powered the 2023 campaign. Monye said he faced frustration, harassment, and zero financial support from the Labour Party. He also claimed to have personally spent over 40 million naira funding mobilization efforts. According to him, Obi hasn't maintained communication with the team since the elections, making it hard to sustain the movement's activities. He advised the group to hire professionals and warned that goodwill alone can't drive a successful campaign anymore. There was a video I made where titled, "Does Obi know that he is obedient?" You see, Obi inherited a movement that they later called Obidient Movement that he didn't form. The aggrieved people, the aggrieved opposition, especially that time, if you look at the Christian population in the north, felt that the only way they could express their frustration, especially against the Muslim ticket, was to vote for Obi. That was what he inherited. Then in the south, the NSAS massacre was still fresh in the minds of those people that were affected. So they were looking for a place to vent their anger, and Peter Obi inherited that. In the southeast too, the IPOB movement, they're also angry because of what happened to them, especially Operation Python Dance, the way they were maltreated and all that. So all these forces were the people and other people that felt tired of the APC's government or Buhari's government. These were the people that Peter Obi inherited, and it seems he didn't even know it. because I didn't see him consolidating on all those structures all this while. That was why he was boastfully saying, I know they give shishi. Why will you give shishi? People are just expressing their anger against the government, not truly in support of you. If it were to be Osibanjo that took the APC ticket, he would also have been supported. So Obi should have known this fact and consolidate on them. You don't just leave people to be intimidated, maltreated, and neglected after spending their hard-earned money and their time campaigning for you. Obi really need to go to the drawing board if he truly wants to be relevant in the scheme of things. Let us go to the next one. National Assembly orders suspension of WAEC 2026 CBT exams, warns of mass failure, depression among students. Big update on the 2026 WAEC exams. Nigeria's House of Representatives has ordered the Ministry of Education and WAEC to pause the plan to introduce full computer-based testing. Lawmaker says many schools, especially in rural areas, don't have enough computers, stable electricity or internet access for such a major change. They are also concerned it could put unnecessary pressure on students. For now, the House wants the CBT rollout delayed until at least 2030, giving schools time to build facilities and train teachers. This Minister of Education, does he even consult people before churning out policies? Imagine the other time he came out and said maths was not compulsory to gain admission to the higher institutions, but yet he must write it. Such kind of policies will just come and go as if they don't need to sit with the academics. But this one that the House of Rep is saying is very, very true. Nigerians are not prepared for this kind of exams. How do you write to CBT WAEC? Where are the computers? Where are the facilities and all that? And again, it's also happening in other agencies too. Like the driving school I operate, you force a illiterate to write a CBT exam before he'll be qualified to have certificate for driver's license. Illiterate too. How many drivers in Nigeria are literate, let alone computer literate, to go and write computer-based test? Let us go to the next one. Reverend Joseph John Hayab, Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria's Northern and FCT, says there is genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Reverend John Joseph Hayab, a Northern Can leader, is urging Nigerians to openly discuss long-standing religious violence in the region. In an interview, he said many past crises have targeted Christian communities and denied the problem is unfair to victims. He explained that challenges from attacks to discrimination in schools and public institutions have existed for decades, even before Boko Haram. Reverend Hayab is calling for honesty, dialogue, and national unity, saying acknowledging the issue is the first step towards real solutions. Problem shared is half solved. This problem have been going on and people are thinking that it is a joke. Although, if the Muslim people are now coming up to say the Muslim communities too have been affected, but did you speak out? Even as we are talking now, are we not protesting? Are the Muslims not protesting against intervention? I know they have their own legitimate reasons because they don't trust guns are blazing. Yes, because guns are blazing does not choose which one is a terrorist, which one is not a terrorist. But let them share it. If the Muslims claim that they have been affected, let them also come out and complain and see how they have been affected and how their own will be solved. Instead of you to go against those who want their own to be solved, you to bring your own out now and tell us how you want the solutions to be given. But denying the fact that there is genocide in northern Nigeria from both Christian and Muslims is a disservice to the nation. Let us go to the next one. Nigerian government stops planned implementation of 15% import duty on petrol, diesel. Big news for Nigerians. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) has announced that the proposed 15% import duty on petrol and diesel will no longer take effect. In the statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs, George Ita, the agency assured Nigerians that fuel prices will remain stable and there is no need for panic buying. This is another topless policy. You just bring out a policy that you know is going to affect. I do hope after all this hullabaloo too, when it comes to the implementation of the new tax policies, you also back down, because you don't continue to bring out policies that is against public opinion in a democracy. Democracy is for the people now. We are saying all those policies are affecting us and you need to be rigid. Follow for more. November 14th, 2025.